Hello, second and third graders. We are going to continue. This will be our last lesson on perimeter. You guys have worked really hard this week. We've done some stuff in Prodigy. You've had a form to work on. You're going to do something in Splash Map today to keep working on this measuring and perimeter stuff that we're working on. But we are going to look at one more step that's a little bit harder. And second graders, just so that you guys know, what we're working on is mostly third grade stuff, but I've seen your guys' work. You guys are doing awesome. So I figured you could just keep going right along with us, doing your best, figuring this stuff out. So far, we have learned about rectangles. And that if the left side is 7, we know the right side's got to be 7. And if the bottom is 10, the top's got to be 10. And I got messy writing there. I'll try and clean it up later. And then we just add, right? We're looking for that distance around the rectangle. And yesterday we even broke some of those distances up. Well, today we're going to take it a step further. We can figure this one out here quick. 10 and 10 is 20. 7 and 7 is 14. 14 plus 20. Always good to use our paper. 14 and 20. 4, 3, 34. All right, I'm going to erase that one here on my chart, dry it off on my leg, and we're going to keep on going. Today, you are going to see that perimeter, and we talked about this a little bit in one of the videos, is not always a rectangle. In your form, you got a square, which is a rectangle technically, but a little different looking shape. But we can have, we've all worked on our geometry shapes this year, we could have a pentagon, a 5-sided figure. I'll do my best to draw one of those for you guys here. 3. Ugh. It sure is an ugly one, but that's what I got. And all we have to know, and again, mine is not perfect drawing, but on those, just like, say, maybe I can do a little better version of a equilateral triangle where all the sides are the same, is they either have to give us all the information or we're going to assume they're all the same. So if my triangle is all 4, 4, and 4, we get 4 plus 4 is 8, plus another 4 is 12. And I actually ended up drawing a hexagon here with 6 sides. So if I have 5 around the whole thing, 5 times 6, third graders, you can think about that. Just do the same thing as a rectangle. We need to just add them all up. 5 times 6, or 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. Working on your skip counting, second graders, we'd come up with 30. So that's one thing that you are going to encounter today, is seeing some of those different shapes, which don't let them throw you. They're either going to need to give you all the information, or if there's any missing information, you should know that there is an opposite side that'll be just the same thing. Now, one other thing you might see today that we haven't really worked on is I'm going to go back to a rectangle. I'll start with an easier one. Use clean, easy numbers. They might give you the top and the bottom. They might say 10 and 10, same as what we did last time. And they might not give you the left or the right. But what they might give you is they might now tell you the perimeter of the whole thing is perimeter equals 26. So they said the whole thing is 26. Now here's what you have to think about when we get something like this. We've already used 10, 20, so what's left over? Hopefully you're thinking at home, hopefully you're thinking 6. Now we don't just go, here's where lots of kids make mistakes on problems like this. They go 6, 6. But if we went 6, 6, then we would be 10, 20, 26. and then 6 more, which would be 32. That's too much, right? So what we have to think about, if our perimeter is 26 for the whole rectangle, and we've already got 10, 20 on the top and the bottom, we need to break 6 into 2 sides. So third graders, 6 divided by 2. Second graders, if we just think about it like this, 6. If we have to break that into 2 equal groups, that's 3 on one side, 3 on another, right? So now if I put that in there, 3 and 3, that's what we get our perimeter of 26. So watch out for that. They'll give you 2 sides and the whole perimeter, and you have to figure out what's missing. That's going to become part of it. So you have to take what you already know and then subtract that from the whole. So if we were to look at that as a math problem, we would do 26 minus 20, because that's what was already dedicated, and get 6, and then we would have to break 6 in half or divide 6 by 2. All right, hopefully that went okay. Keep practicing. Remember, you can always send me a message, ask questions, especially if your parents are busy working on something different. All right, last thing we're going to see today, I'm actually going to pull out a different sheet of paper. You might get something crazy like this. I don't think you're going to get something like this, but this is kind of the last step in perimeter, and this might even be a little bit above our third grade level, but some of you are so good that it's important that we learn it anyway. You might get a figure that looks like this. And we don't have, if I look here at for me it's my left side, 13. Well, the right side 13 doesn't match anymore, does it? So I can't put 13 over there because they're not going to be the same. So what we have to start thinking about, and I'm going to see if I can hold it to the side here, is if 13's over here, well, it doesn't go up as high as this side, but it keeps going up over here, which it says is 5. So I have to think about in my head, goes up 13, keeps going up 5, that's the whole length over here. What's 13 plus 5? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 13 plus 5 is 18. So that's how I would have to find my right side, filling that in. Using a little bit of my head, a little bit of my brain to find out. Up 13, up 5 more, 13 and 5 is 18. And then the same thing here on the bottom. They don't give us the bottom. This length right here, 15, doesn't make it all the way across, but 15, and then up here, 2 more makes it all the way across from the bottom. So 15 plus 2 more, 16, 17. So now I can fill that in. And now what we have is we have a big addition problem. We got 13 plus 17 plus 18 plus 2 plus 5 plus 15. So a big, 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 big math problem. And so what I would do to figure something like this out, kind of walk it through you step by step, is just go one at a time. And then I would cross them off as I go. So I'd start with 18 and 17. Those are 2 of my tougher ones. 8 plus 7, 15. Carry my 1, 35. I'm going to cross those 2 numbers out. So this is what I've done so far. I've used those 2. Now I'm going to add 13 more because that's my next one that I see. 13 more. 5 plus 3 is 8. 3 plus 1 is 4. Cross out 13. Now I have 48. Keep on going with 15, my last double-digit number, 2-digit number. 8 plus 5. Again, we get 13. Carry my 1. I'll have to kind of go into the other space. 4, 5, 63 now. That's what I've got working there. Now I got to cross out this 15 because I've used that. Now in my head a little bit, my last remaining numbers are 5 and 2. I can think 5 plus 2 is 7. So I'm just going to add 7 instead of plus 5 plus 2. 63 plus 7. 7 plus 3, 10. Carry my 1. And I come up with 70. So after I added all those together, I get a perimeter of 70 for this odd looking figure. All right, so that's about as tough as perimeter gets right there. At least for the next couple of years. There'll be some crazy symbols as you get older, but we won't worry about those today. But this should show you the importance of showing that work along the side, because very, very tough to add all those numbers, especially those odd numbers like 13 and 17 and 18. 5 and 2 weren't so bad, but we didn't get to those till the very end. Go ahead and work on your assignment in Splash today. Good job.